That's my little Margie. I've been both mother and father to her since she was born. She's grown up now, and you think my job is all done, eh? Well, that's what you think. When she was little, I could spank her and make her mind me. I had control over her. I made her eat her spinach, no candy before meals. And when she disobeyed, I took her roller skates away for a week. But what can you do when a girl reaches this age? She's completely out of hand. I've got a problem, believe me. I've got a problem.
That's my father. I've raised him from childhood. That is, my childhood. He's nearly 50 now, and you'd think he'd settle down, wouldn't you? Well, that's what you think. Today, he looks better in shorts on a tennis court than fellas 25. Girls wink at him, and what's worse, he winks back at them. I want a nice, old, comfortable father. I try to look after him, but he just won't settle down. I've got a problem, believe me, I've got a problem.
Well, Margie, it isn't every Saturday that old Honeywell lets me off. What do you want to do?
Dad, let's get out of town. I want to put a couple of 100 miles between you and the office so you'll forget that old fuss budget.
Honey, the minute I close that office door, I forget all about that old fuss budget.
Well, the old fuss budget never forgets you.
Mr. Honeywell, how did you get in here?
The door was unlocked. I walked right in. I thought I'd surprise you.
You did.
This is indeed an unexpected pleasure. Won't you sit down and have a cup of coffee with me?
Thanks. You folks aren't doing anything today, are you?
Oh, yes, we are. We're going out on a little trip. We're going north, and
Pardon me, young lady. You are going south.
The scenery is much prettier up north, and we decided...
Unfortunately, Miss Albright, I can't always select pretty scenery when I send your father on a business trip.
A business trip? But, Mr. Honeywell, you...
Vern, you know I wouldn't interfere with your weekend unless it was absolutely necessary.
The whole weekend? Not just Saturday?
And most of next week. You know the situation in Consolidated Electric. Crothers has got to acquire more stock in order to hold voting control.
But there's no more stock to be had.
Oh, yes, there is. We know where there's a nice fat bundle of it just waiting to be picked up. And you're the man that can do it.
But, Mr. Honeywell, if you know who has this stock, why don't you phone them an offer?
No phone.
Well, then wire.
And no telegraph office.
Say, who owns this stock?
Their name is Tolliver. They're mountain people. Now, you'll just have to go there, Vern. I've got everything all ready. Now, you just follow these directions, and you won't have a bit of trouble. And it'll be a nice trip. Concrete all the way. Well, except this teensy-weensy little stretch here. That's only 46 miles of unimproved road. Of course, you can't drive your car from there. So I've arranged with a mountaineer to drive you from here right smack into Squirrel Gap.
Squirrel Gap?
The Tollivers live on the edge of town. Now, you're the only one in the organization I can trust with this mission. A little persuasion may be necessary to put this deal over, and you have the charm and the tact to do it.
Oh, thank you. The Tollivers. Say, didn't Andrews from our Baltimore office go down there and talk to those people?
That's right.
Oh, but he spent 4 weeks in the hospital.
That's right.
Give, Mr. Honeywell. Why did he spend 4 weeks in the hospital?
It took that long to dig the buckshot out of him.
Buckshot?
In his city clothes, they mistook him for a revenuer. Of course, that won't happen in your case. I'm not a bit worried.
Well, that's big of him. He's not worried.
Now, see here, Mr. Honeywell.
The man who succeeds in purchasing this stock will undoubtedly be rewarded with a place on the board of directors. Of course, if you can't do it.
What do you mean he can't do it? My dad can do anything he sets his mind to.
That's the spirit. I know I can depend upon you, Albright. Good luck, my boy, and goodbye.
Oh, it's nice that you've got confidence in your old man, honey, but if those people wouldn't sell to Andrews, why should they sell to me? Oh, I'm afraid it's too risky.
Dad, you heard what the man said. If you put this over, you get a spot on Carruthers' board of directors.
And didn't you hear what the man said? They don't like strangers down there, and I'm allergic to buckshot.
Simmer down, Dad. I've got an angle.
Hey, honey, cut that out. You're wrecking my new hat.
Shucks, Pappy, when I get through with y'all won't look like no stranger. Y'all will be one of the folks. She'll be coming round the mountain when she comes. She'll be coming round the mountain when she comes.
Ouch!
Mr. Honeywell weren't a fooling when he said unimproved road, Pappy.
He certainly, he sure won't.
What you folks say your name was?
Albright.
Any kin to the Albrights used to live down in Possum Hollow? Neighbors to the Tollivers?
Yes, they was our kinfolk.
Are the Tollivers important folks around these here parts?
Shucks, yeah. Ain't but two important families around here. That's the McGrews and the Tollivers. Guess that's why they keep trying to kill each other off.
A feud?
Yep. Of course, feuding ain't very lively now. Was a time when the McGrews would shoot anybody that just called on the Tollivers.
You tell.
Yep, here we are. That's the Tolliver place there. Shucks, folks. 'Twarn't nothing but old Betsy here backfiring. You'll likely find the Tollivers out there in the back slopping the hogs or something.
Bye, and thanks for driving us.
Seems like mighty nice folks to be kin to low-down hog thieves like the Albrights.
Would this be their townhouse or their country place?
Oh, the townhouse. The country house wouldn't be as elaborate as this. Shucks, they can't shoot you for knocking.
Funny place to put a rain pipe.
Margie is a double-barreled one. Shotgun, that is. Let's get out of here.
Stay where you be, strangers. What are you snooping around here for?
We was just aiming to pay a sociable call on you, and that's all.
Us Tollivers don't cotton to strangers.
Well, that doesn't seem to be very...
Why, shucks, Mr. Tolliver, we ain't strangers. We're kin of the Albrights down Possum Holler way.
Albrights, huh? You fond of pigs like your kinfolks?
Sure be.
Well, stay where you be. Hey, Granny, the Albrights is calling. Sit down, make yourselves to home.
Well, thanks, but I just wanted to see you on a little business matter.
Never talk business on an empty stomach. Putting their time for victuals. Granny does the cooking. Say, would you like to meet my old maid daughter?
Why, don't go to any trouble.
Oh, shucks, tain't no trouble. Come on in here, Ellie Mae. We got company. Can't understand why nobody ever married her. What's the matter? Cat got your tongue? Say hello to the Albrights.
Hello.
Mountain debutante.
Yup. She came out and went right back. Sure enjoyed the supper a heap, Grandma Tolliver. So all fired his best chicken I ever ate.
Get her. I always said Gran could cook hog jowl to taste just like chicken.
What's that?
Just changing the subject.
Look at him, Pa. A little old, but mighty purty.
Same goes for you, too. Old, but purty.
Oh!
Oh! Just a funnin'.
Oh.
Bet you I got something you'll like, Mr. Albright. Fetch me that jug, Luke. Here, Albright. Drink up. Nice and fresh. Just made her yesterday.
If you all don't mind, I don't think I'd care for any just now.
What's that?
He just got over a bad case of creeping ranunculus.
Say, that's too bad. Well, here's to bullfrogs on the mill pond.
And on behalf of my company, Mr. Tolliver, I'm prepared to make you a mighty handsome offer for that there stock.
I'm afraid you come to the wrong place. We ain't got no stock.
What?
Ain't a mule on the place, and our cow died last spring.
Oh, I don't mean livestock. I mean paper stock in the Consolidated Electric Company. It's all yellow and blue with fancy doodads around it.
Oh.
Fancy doodads? Oh, you mean that stuff Grandpa Huckleberry left us in his will?
Yes, yes. Where is it?
I'll show 'em, Pa. It's right over here. We didn't know what to do with it, so we just put it there. It's so pretty.
That's a mighty valuable door, Mr. Tolliver. Every one of those certificates is worth money.
And my pa's ready to buy 'em from you.
Buy 'em. Well, rip off my bustle and call me skinny.
You ain't a joking about this, are you?
Of course not. All you have to do is sign a stock transfer, and that makes it good and legal.
Oh, sign something, he says.
What goes on?
I don't know, but look out for an end run.
Granny rightly says we shouldn't oughter sign nothing. How do we know this ain't a low-down McGrew trick?
Me in cahoots with the McGrews?
No, we bean't.
You mean you don't favor them'uns over us'uns?
Of course not.
Reckon you won't mind then shooting a couple of McGrews just to prove it.
Shoot a couple of McGrews.
You talk big. Back it up. You find them down there in the holler. Here, and if you get back alive, I'll talk some more about signing that paper.
On your way.
And after the explosion, our feet weren't sore anymore. You should have seen the way we ran.
Dad could have qualified for the 100-yard dash in the Olympic Games.
The high hurdles, honey. Don't forget those fences.
I'm not looking for sport flashes. I want that stock.
What did you want us to do, kill the McGrews?
No, but you could have winged a couple of them. Crothers is going to be terribly disappointed. What am I going to tell him? All right, I hate to see you flub this. A seat on that board of directors would be the making of you, and I don't mind telling you of Honeywell and Todd.
Look, Pappy, a letter from Squirrel Gal.
Well, shut my mouth. A letter from them, the Tollivers.
Maybe they've decided to sell that stock after all.
Dear Mr. Albright, you done prove that you-uns is our kind of folks. So we-uns is coming to see you, and maybe we can do business with that there stock. We will be in the city on Thursday. Yours truly, Jess Tolliver.
They'll be here Thursday. Well, that's tomorrow. This is marvelous. All right, you can't fluff it this time. I'll go and tell Crothers the deal is in the bag. Bye-bye.
P.S. My Ellie Mae is still mighty sweet on you, Mr. Albright. And my Luke can't wait to see your data. Pigs? Margie! Margie! Margie!
Yes, Dad?
What are you up to? What's the meaning of all this?
Well, we're having company. The Tollivers, remember? They said we were their kind of folks, so we better stay in character.
Does the manager know those pigs are in here?
Now, Dad, don't argue. Just put on your mountain clothes and get on the beam. We wouldn't want them to think we're city slickers now, would we?
Well, I hope it works out. You've made up your mind to wine 'em and dine 'em.
Correction. Grub 'em and jug 'em.
Margie, you're carrying this thing too far.
Relax, Dad. It's only cider. Doesn't do a thing to you. Just makes you healthy. Well, here's to bullfrogs on the mill pond.
Oh. Shooting up in the air like that sure puts knots in your stomach.
I ain't got no stomach. Left it down on the first floor.
Land of Goshen, it's just like living on top of Bobcat Mountain.
Where we go now, son?
Right there, 10A.
There it is. It's a Tolliver.
Sure a sight for sore eyes.
Well, come on in.
Powerful glad to see you.
Make yourselves right to home. Howdy, Luke.
You're sure looking mighty pert. Did you miss me?
Sure did. Just like I'd miss an excavation in my cranium.
Why can't you say love and things like that?
Take your gun, Luke?
Sure got a real pretty place here, Miss Margie.
Well, it's home. Of course, it can't compare to our old diggings back in Possum Holler.
Hold on there, Luke. Who asked you to have a jolt?
He's welcome to it, Pa, and so are you. It's right good stuff.
After Mr. Albright. He gets first drag on this jug.
Well, here's frog legs on the griddle.
That's bullfrogs on the mill pond. Dad! Take a deep breath. Take a breath. Take a breath. Oh, Dad!
That was smooth. Mighty smooth.
Mighty fine hog jowl, Miss Margie. Mighty fine.
Thank you, Pa. Oh, I said I could cook chicken to taste like hog jowl.
'Pears to me like you got the makings of a right good cotton hand, Miss Margie.
Why, Mr. Tolliver, that's the sweetest thing anybody ever said to me.
How's about puckering up for a smoocher?
Right here in front of everybody?
Why not? That's the way it'll be back in the cabin.
Ah! Dad! Ah! Let's dance.
My favorite tune. Come on, Silvertip.
Allemande left with the old left hand and right your part for right in the tramp. The big foot up and the little foot down like a jaybird hopping on frozen ground. Chase that rabbit, chase the squirrel, chase that pretty girl around the world. Now the possum, now the coon, chase that big boy around the room.
All right's a good man. I knew he'd come through with that stock, Mr. Crothers.
I'm anxious to meet him. As you know, we're very particular about the men we select for our board of directors.
I'm sure you'll be convinced when you see him as he really is, in the dignity of his own home.
and yours and also mine. Around we go, our hearts entwine. Back with your left and don't get lost. The lady goes seeing the gentry the boss.
This is dignity.
Who are them varmints? Sneaking up on us like them McGrews, huh?
Wait. They're friends of mine.
With them clothes, they don't look like friends. Part on them, Pa.
Now, wait a minute, Luke. They just heard the music and dropped in to dance.
Well, let's see 'em dance then.
Two gents forward and into a swing, then the opposite lady with a pigeon wing. Two gents forward and swing once more, then swing yours and circle four. Ladies to the center and back to the bar, gents to the center and form a star with the right hands crossed. Back to your left and don't get lost.
Switch. All right, I want you to meet Mr. Crothers.
Very powerful, happy to meet you, Aunt. I mean, this is indeed a pleasure, sir.
It's no pleasure to me. I'm just doing this idiotic dance to save my skin.
Switch.
Back with your right now, don't get lost.
Come on, Honeywell, let's get out of here. This can wait.
Hold on, mister. We're shy of men.
Are you all right, Mr. Crothers? I don't know. All right.
Well, you give us a fine feed and a right good time, Mr. Albright. Reckon it's time to talk business.
You mean you've decided to sell the stock?
Well, if and you meant what you said with that handsome offer.
We'll pay you 10% above yesterday's closing quotation.
Did you bring the stock with you?
Sartin just sent Luke down to fetch her. Oh! Get up, you clumsy lummox. There she be. We couldn't peel 'em off nohow, so we brung the door with us.
There you are, Mr. Carruthers. Your stock in Consolidated Electric.
It's all here.
That's good enough for me.
Excuse me, Mr. Crothers, I'll have this door transferred to your name.
We'll have you sign a little agreement to cover the transaction.
We don't sign nothing. Down where I come from, we seals our bargains with a drink.
Well, that's still good enough for me.
Here you be.
No, not that one, Mr. Crothers. That's dynamite. Now, hold it just a minute. Here, try this. This is safer. I mean, better.
Just as you say, all right. Well, here's happy landings.
Dad, what did you do?
You're all right, Mr. Albright, but your friends are sure peculiar.
Oh, Mr. Carruthers. Mr. Carruthers. Mr. Carruthers, speak to me.